Hey, everyone. Welcome back to week number 4 of the holiday. Actually, it's Rock Your Holiday Sales 5-week bootcamp. We are so happy that to see you guys here today. So as you're hopping on, say hello, because Sarah and I are really excited to dig into this week's topic. Now, as many of you know, I lost my Facebook profile. I'm very sad about it. So it's really tough. I can't actually stream into my Facebook group or onto even my own personal wall right now. So what I've done is I'm streaming to YouTube and I'm streaming to Instagram, and I have taken the YouTube link and I've posted it in all over everywhere I could in Facebook. And I have lost connection with a lot of my friends. So if you're not seeing it, then you can always just pop into the Virtual Assistant Collective. All right. It will be in there. And I apologize for that, but it stinks. My Facebook profile was hacked, and you just never know when you're going to lose it. And that's why we always want to create something off of social media. All right. So I will be living testimony. It hasn't been fun, but you know what? I'm going to rebuild it and, come back stronger. So, and you know what? We have resources to do that, especially with Social Connector and the communities that it has. So, all right. So this week's topic is going to be all about something very important, creating your sales pipeline, because you can't have any sales without a pipeline, right? But first, what we want to do is we just want to talk about what we've covered over the last 3 weeks. So in week number 1, we talked about how to build your opt-in form. Does everybody remember that? That's where we can start collecting our leads, right? We just ask for a little bit of information in exchange for something that we give to our leads and our prospects, right? And then in week number 2, we set up your email campaign so that we can keep all of those leads that you're collecting all engaged, all right? Because that's important too, right? There's a lot of little phases and we need to build upon these. And then last week was week 3. I can't believe we're in week 4, by the way. Sarah, can you believe that? I don't.
No, it's crazy.
I keep wanting to say, aren't we in week 3 or something? But no, we are in week 4. So last week in week 3, we were talking about how to automate all of your sales processes, right? During, especially when we're in the holiday rush, and we're busy and we're doing all the things and we're still having to manage our businesses besides the holidays, right? So it's so important to automate. So week 3 was really important. So we had homework. We have homework every single week of the boot camp. Okay. But if you haven't shared your automations yet, don't worry about it. I mean, we all get busy, but we've had plenty of time. We've stretched it out quite a bit. But once you get your automations done, please go over into the Virtual Assistant Collective group. And I'm going to post a link to that in YouTube when I get a couple seconds. I'll post a link to that. Come on over to the group, join the group, and it's free. There's a lot of valuable information in there, but join in on the boot camp if you haven't joined yet. There's still plenty of time. You can watch all the replays, but once you're done with your automations, do like a screenshot or something like that and share those with us in the group feed. We have a homework feed in there because we would really love to see what you guys have been working on. All right. So that we can cheer you on and, we can all work together to get our holiday sales campaigns ready to go. All right. And let me just check. I just want to see, no, I guess StreamYard's not going to let me see any comments. So I am going to pop over here for a second and see. I do see some watchers, but I don't see any comments yet, but that is okay. All right. Okay. So you know what? We just keep moving on down the road, right, you guys? All right. So now we are on to week 4. So let me pull up the workbook. And you can grab the workbook right in the Virtual Assistant Collective group as well. All right. So now week number 4. Today we're going to talk about, how to create your sales pipeline. Okay. And why it's so important, for your holiday success, and even after the holidays, right? Because we want to keep track of where, when we bring those leads in with our forms, we want to know where they are in the process so we can reach out with them and nurture them and create a relationship. Right. And this, creating that sales pipeline, this is where it's going to help you to track those leads, right? Where they are. And just make sure that nobody gets lost or you don't forget about them, right? Because I know that if I don't have it in front of me and if I don't have it organized in an organized manner, I do forget, right? It's on the back burner and I just forget about it. So it's really nice to have them organized so that you can pop in there, make the most of your time and follow up your leads, okay? So on page 19 of the workbook, I'm just going to answer a couple quick questions before we turn this over to the lovely Sarah, who's going to walk us through how to set up your sales pipeline. But what the heck is a sales pipeline and do I need one? Well, let's answer that for you right now. So basically a sales pipeline is just a visual. Like it's a roadmap of that kind of shows you where your potential customers are at every single stage of that buying journey, right? So here we are getting our holiday sales campaigns ready, and it's going to be a buying journey for our clients, or not our clients, but our leads, which hopefully will become clients, right? So we had the opt-in form. That is like a one stage. Then we have our email campaign. That's another stage. Are they opening emails? Are they engaging? Number 3 was setting up the automations, and maybe they have some behaviors that will prompt you to reach out to them or whatever. Okay. But, and whether they're really just interested or maybe they're ready to buy, right? This pipeline that we're talking about really helps, track all of your leads and make sure that you're following up at the right times as well, right? I mean, you don't want to just hit them all with the same emails over and over and over, correct? Like if they've already raised their hand, maybe they don't need certain things, okay? And the other answer to your question is, do I need one? Yes, you definitely need one to stay organized during the holidays and way beyond the holidays, all right? Number 2 is, how do you move your potential customers through a sales pipeline? How does that all work? Well, the way that this works is, and I want you to think about it like this. It's all about nurturing your leads that are coming in, all right? So you move your customers basically from one stage to another, just like I explained, and you do this by engaging with them. And how do you engage with them? Well, you have conversations with them, maybe some targeted messages. You can send them some personalized offers, and just following up with them in a timely manner. Okay. And you know what? Have you ever heard that the fortune is in the follow-up? It is so true. We've already covered this in one of the weeks prior, but it can take up to 12 touches to create a sale. Okay. And for a lead to make a decision. So just remember that follow-up is so important. That's why your sales pipeline is so important. So we're going to show you how to guide your leads just super smoothly from being interested in the beginning, right, to really ready to make a purchase from you. Okay. Does that sound good to you guys? It sounds really good to me. All right. So let's get started building your sales pipeline so that we can all make sure that every single lead that you have is going to be moving towards that holiday sale. Okay. All right. So we're going to go over our SMART method that Sarah and I put together. Number 1, this is page 20, is all about strategy. Strategy is the same thing as action, right? Today, we are going to build and optimize your sales pipeline. And this is going to be done for the holiday season, all right, to make sure that all of your leads are moving just super smoothly and efficiently through your process, okay? And that we know where they are, okay? The letter M is for motivation, and that is our why. Well, a really well-organized and a well-structured pipeline just lets you, it helps you to keep track of all of your leads. And again, it ensures that no opportunities slip through those cracks, especially during the holiday rush when we're all busy, you guys, all right? Because let's face it, we really don't need one more thing to do we? I know that I don't. The A for actionable tip, okay? Today's tip is use something like Social Connector, all right? Their pipeline feature to map out every single stage of your sales process, okay? And it can be simple. And then you can assign some actions to all of your leads based on where the heck they are in your pipeline. Okay. How does that sound? I mean, if you just can picture it right now, it just sounds so organized. Imagine opening up your sales pipeline and seeing where everyone is visually, because they're little cards, kind of like Trello. If you guys have used Trello before, you can see where they are and you kind of know where to begin, right? You're just not like opening your screen and staring and saying, oh, because what happens to a confused mind? They do nothing. They do nothing. And if you're here with me, tell me in the chats, do you ever have a confused mind? And what's happened to you before when you're confused, right? You just want to shut down, right? Okay, so the R in SMART is reward. And that's basically a bonus. So Sarah and I are going to give you a free holiday pipeline checklist to make sure that every single step of your sales process is covered. You guys won't have to worry about it. We're going to guide you through every single step there. All right. And then the T is takeaway. So this is going to be your next step. So basically what we're doing is we're going to get your holiday pipeline set up now so that you can handle all of the influx of leads that are coming in without so much darn chaos. All right. We are going to be prepared. It's going to be not so stressful, right? And we're just going to be ready to go. So we are going to actually, let me see here. Let me just check. Oh, yes, we are on page number 21. And I think we covered everything. We went through the SMART method, and we are going to turn this over to the amazing Sarah so that she can take it away. And I'm going to remove the workbook, and she is going to share all of the greatness today. And Sarah, you were muted, so let me just double check your, there you go. Awesome.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is actually kind of I think, simplest ones. There's not a lot to it, just to set up a simple little pipeline. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to over in Social Connector. We're using Social Connector. It's called opportunities or pipeline, but you'll find it under opportunities. The first thing you need to do is set up your pipeline, name it, and such. You can see I have a whole bunch out here. I've been testing a few things for me and my clients, but that's what you see here is I have a bunch of pipelines. So there's that. But to do that, you just click on create new pipeline. You would name it, and we'll just say test. And then the next thing is really understanding the funnel that they're going through and how you want to label it or categorize it to what you're doing. I call it the customer journey. Again, some people call it funnel, things like that. So whatever you do, typically, you have a lead, you have a warm lead. Maybe they commented on a post or something. Then it goes from warm to hot. Maybe they are asking for a link or wanting to buy, and then they become a client or a customer, depending on what industry you might be in or call it. And I just spelled that wrong. Love how it corrects that for you. But anyway, you just set up that journey that they're going on and how you're going to take them through that pipeline or that funnel. And then you would just save that. As you saw, there's some data that goes behind that. That's for a different course, but you will see that our test showed up here. So that's all you do there is you set up your pipeline or your funnel. Then you come over here to opportunities. And depending on which one you're going to be in, so if we went to test, there you would see it. You can add opportunities manually or with some automations. Again, those are more complex, so we won't go into automations today either. You don't need them to use this, but you can automate that, and it can be pretty powerful. There's a lot you can, and I say that like with lots of emotion, because there's a lot you can automate. Let me just tell you, I just automated a little FOMO for you. I just automated a pipeline for a customer. So they have a 90-day time frame within a course that we're doing. And I automated the process to take them through each of the 30 days and email them and keep them going because they were going to lose access at the end of 90 days. So I automated all that. You can automate things like when they begin a course or when they end a module. So lots of cool things in the more advanced settings that we can get into at some point, but very simple. You would just fill this out, and this keeps the information of the contact for you. You can add notes and things like that. So it's very powerful to be able to fill these out. But we will, let's see if I can fill that out. There we go. So, why is that not? There we go. So as you can see, you can just fill that out and things like that. I'm making sure I'm in there. Okay, so I just want to fill that out. I don't know if I have to fill out more. I did put my name. Huh. I might be doing this wrong. I don't usually do them manually. Oh, there I am. Okay. As you can see though, the card, it shows like if you want to view a conversation, if you want to add tags, if you want to, I think that's a note. It didn't show. There it is. Add notes, and then add appointments. So you can do those things right here or by just clicking on there. But what you would do is say, now they're a lead. That they're interested. They maybe hearted your post. So they're a lead. Then you maybe message them or they messaged you or commented on your post. Then they're interested. They become a warm lead. You just move it over. Did you see me just drag that? You can move it back. If you make a mistake, you can move it back. There we go. But now they're interested. Wow, this is just being tricky. Now they're interested. So warm lead, right? Well, then they say, "Oh, I love that link. Let me check that out," right? So then again, you would move that over to hot lead. Now they're hot, right? And then, hey, guess what? They purchased. Now they're a customer or a client. So you move it through that pipeline. Now, Jody mentioned Trello. I really use that for planning and management prior to it coming in here. And then things like launching or new product development. But here, I always use everything in here because it keeps track of that. It keeps track of the history. It will keep track of anything I put on here, including notes. And then it shows up in that individual person's contact record. So when you go look at contacts, then you would be able to see that and track that and really get to know people. I, for one, used to do all of this manually on paper or in a spreadsheet, and then I'd forget where everything was, or I wouldn't track it. Again, the more you can have everything in one system being tracked, it's very helpful because, again, like the tags, you can tag them through different stages. You can tag them when, maybe dates is another tip I'll give you here is dates like when they ghosted you, right? Because a ghost doesn't mean it's bad. It means they might have got busy and forgot. So if you put a date, then you know your follow-up sequence, like I'm going to check in with them in 30 days or 2 weeks or whatever. And you can put that note on there and then remind yourself too. So lots of things you can do with opportunities. And like I said, you can automate this, but you don't have to. And that's what we're showing you today is how to do this the simplest way and really watch your pipelines. So you can check that every day and see where people need to be or even what actions you need to take that day. So that's all I have for pipelines. Jody, did I miss anything?
No, and actually, I love how simple this is, and I love that and you can compare this a lot to Trello. Trello is such an easy, it's just such a visual tool, and that I'm so glad that Social Connector implemented this into their pipeline because it really does make it easy. It's like a drag and drop tool. And I've been taking a couple notes here, but the notes feature is so amazing because how many times have you ever had maybe a conversation with someone and you don't want to have to go back to wherever it was that you were having that conversation? You can actually pop the notes inside the notes section and open that up before you reach out again, like whether you're doing a call or maybe there's something cool that you want to remember about that prospect so that you could, talk to them about it and be a little bit more personable, right? Because you can't always remember every single detail about everyone. So that's what I love about, all of the details here in opportunities. And you have everything at your fingertips. You can actually see what they're tagged with, right? You can click on their contact record, so you can go into your pipeline, right? And you can actually go to that client, that prospect's contact record, and you can look at their tags. Their tags tell you the story, what their journey has been with you in your in your little business world here. Okay. How long, when was their contact record created? I believe that it puts that as well. So it tells you how long they've been around, how many times they've opened your emails, if they've responded, if they've chatted with you, and it's just such a great gauge, just to know whether or not you would want to move them to a different stage, right? From like warm lead to hot lead. If they're constantly like opening your emails and they're reaching out to you and they're talking with you, I feel like they could be moved to a hot lead, right? Right, Sarah?
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff can be done. It can be done automatically, but it doesn't have to be. You can, you can implement this automation as you go, and that's why we just want to keep it simple for the sales campaigns this time around, right, Sarah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually just talking to someone about it today. Um, for a new adventure I've been working on. And she was like, I need something like this in my life because she has thousands of leads now and they're all in a spreadsheet. And
Yeah.
she even documents what day, she contacted them last and then when she wants to do it again.
Yeah.
Again, that's going into the spreadsheet and
Yeah.
filtering and all that. Where if
Yeah.
it was here and you just move people into columns,
Yep.
months, whatever, and then you put notes on it and just doing that much. Because I started writing this new adventure down on paper because I'm trying to, learn new skills. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. I've got to figure out how to move this back into here because
Yeah.
writing, and plus I can't read half my handwriting anyway.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So I
And
cannot wait to get them back in here.
oh
So,
yeah. And I'm going to say spreadsheets are great until they're not great anymore, until they get to be too big, right? And then they become complex.
yeah.
So if any of you out there do have a spreadsheet that you're working with, that's great. At least you have something going. But I will tell you that you can take that spreadsheet and you can download that. I mean, you have to do a little bit of cleaning up beforehand, but you can download that as a CSV and you can actually import that into Social Connector and bring those contacts into Social Connector very, very quickly and easily. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're like, oh, I don't know how to get all these contacts into Social Connector. It's actually not a hard project. I think the hardest part would be to actually look at your fields and mapping the fields in the proper places. But it's so worth it. It really is.
Yeah. I think the hardest part, and this is where we've got to, use the tools here, is getting emails, because you're a perfect example of that. And you talked about it, that I wanted to mention that, and I didn't want to interrupt you, is you lost your Facebook account because somebody hacked it. It's not anything you did or did wrong. Somebody hacked it. How she got a hold of me within minutes was because she had my email address.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to
I sent
get
an
email
email, didn't I?
addresses. We need to get that on paper, on Excel, and then import it in, because she was able to communicate with me ASAP. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, whatever. And so I went and looked in Facebook, and you can't even message her anymore. Right. I mean,
Nope.
luckily our thread was there because we have shared tons of, things that we share. And I was like, thank goodness I didn't lose those. But,
Yeah.
you immediately emailed me and
Mm-hmm.
then your whole list in seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that I actually started with that list. And, that's another one of the beauties of Social Connector is not only do I have that list, but I created a separate community off of Facebook. And normally what I do is I will ask people when they want to come into my Facebook community. They're also invited to my community off of Facebook, and they actually have an app so you can access it on a mobile device. But ladies and gents, if you're out there, if you have a business, I'm telling you, think about moving some of this stuff off of social media and having a little bit more control over it, because I lost, I had 3,000 connections established, and I had 2 Facebook pages, and I can't even access those anymore. So, one of the other, tips that I would give through my hard lesson is to make sure that you have someone who is an admin in either your group or on your Facebook business pages, so that they would still be able to have access to that information, and then bring you back in and then add you as an admin. So hard lesson, but you know what? It's not the end of the world, because I do have there's always other social media platforms, and there's also I have my Social Connector, and I have my community, and I have my email list. Thank goodness. So, and I'm just going to continue to build my email list. So, and that's why it's so important to have these, to have all of this put together, especially ahead of time, ahead of the holiday rush, right? So, and again, and we've said this a couple times, we're getting this ready for the holidays, but you can use all of this for your ongoing efforts. Okay. And all you have to really do is just duplicate them, clone them, and then create new ones. So this is going to last you a long time, and you're going to build upon it and really build that list. So that's why we're so passionate about this. And we really want to, that's why we're doing this boot camp. And it's a free boot camp because, Sarah and I are both automation junkies and we just want to share that with everybody. So great job, Sarah. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the homework. Again, it's week 4 homework. We only have 1 week left, you guys. It's crazy. So we are on page 22. And we're talking about creating your holiday sales pipeline. And so we're gonna set up a structured sales pipeline in your CRM. If you're not using Social Connector, that's okay. You can still do it in another CRM. We're using Social Connector, or you can do it in another tool or whatever your tool of choice is, right? But just to track your leads from that moment that they show interest, right? Until they make that purchase. Okay. And this is really just going to help you stay organized. You're going to make sure that that no leads slip through the cracks, because it's so easy to do. It really is. So this is what we're going to do for week 4. This is your homework. Number 1, we're going to map out your customer journey. Okay. So I want you to think about all the steps that a lead will take from opting into your form, right? Maybe to answering your emails or making a purchase. All right. What is their journey going to look like for you and for your business? Okay. So just try to identify the stages of your pipeline. Like Sarah was showing you, interested, maybe engaged, maybe ready to buy, maybe customer. Okay. And it'll be unique to each of you. And then you're going to outline all the actions that you would take at each stage. All right. So number 2 is we are going to, now, I don't know, Sarah, did you talk about the values? I don't think so.
Which values?
So what I did in here is I talked about you can assign a value to a customer.
Oh, I did not go over that. No, that's one of
your opt-in form. So I just want to explain that very quickly, and we don't have to go this far, but this is one of the cool things, you guys. So somebody opts into your form, right? And it depends on what your offer is, whatever your holiday offer is. Say that it's a maybe you're selling a course for $297. Okay. Someone opts into your form. What is that lead worth? What value would you assign to that? I would assign it $297. That client, that prospect is, because you're trying to move them to a purchase of whatever that offer is for your holiday, right? So that is a potential opportunity for $297. Now imagine if you had, I don't know, 10 people opt into your form. How much is that? It's $2,970, right? So that's almost a $3,000 in opportunities that's sitting in your pipeline. Okay. So there's a great way to assign values to customers who opt into your form, and you can do that in automations. We're not getting too technical, but isn't that is such a cool feature that if you can implement that, it's really going to make your dashboard start lighting up, and you're going to look and see, oh my gosh, look at these opportunities that I have. Look at these numbers. And that's when it starts getting really fun and exciting. All right. So number 3 is you're going to set up your holiday sales pipeline in your CRM system, guys. All right. You're just going to, you're going to map out the journey, maybe assign a value to a customer who completes your holiday opt-in form. And you don't even have to put it in your automations. You can even just write it down somewhere just so that you know in the back of your mind. But then you're going to set up your holiday sales pipeline in your CRM system. All right. And then number 4 is just our usual. It is just posting a screenshot of your sales pipeline inside the homework feed of our Facebook group. And I did paste, let me see, did I? Yeah, I did. I posted the link to the Facebook group right here in the YouTube comments. So come on over to the group, you guys, and we'd love to have you. We have a lot of fun over there. We have a lot of valuable information. We do a lot of different trainings, for a lot of free trainings. And then you can, join and watch all the replays, and then, post your homework. And we would be honored to, help you build your sales campaign. Okay. For the holidays. And remember, so let me see, next week is the last week. So it's a great time to have it ready to go. It's going to give you a little bit of cushion too, right? You're going to have some time to actually think of, tweak it a little bit and think about, when it's going out and all that other stuff, even though we talked about it in I think week 1, week 2. So go ahead and post that screenshot in our Facebook group and tag Sarah and I, because we'd love to see what you're working on. All right. Because we are definitely here to help you fine tune it and just to make sure that it's working for your business. Okay. And that is really about it. So, let me see. What am I going to talk about? Okay. Next week. Let's talk about next week, you guys. All right. Next week is basically going to be showtime. So we're going to walk you through how to launch your holiday promotions and how to track your progress and how to follow up with your leads to maximize your sales. Okay. Because, that's going to be the last step in the process. Okay. That's week number 5. So make sure that you come back next week. All right. Do that homework, post it in the feed, and let's really finish this boot camp strong and really make this holiday season your most successful. Yeah. Okay. Because we can do this, especially when we're prepared. All right. So I think that is it. We're going to wrap it up. There is one other thing. Let me see. I posted the link to the Facebook group. I do have a link in case you want to check out Social Connector. We've been showing you guys all the back end of this amazing tool. And you know what? If you want to try it out for free, it's a great deal. You get 14 free days. And then after that, it's $97 a month. And that's it for all of those tools. Now, I just told my story. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but you have to go watch the replay about how I saved my client upwards of $10,000 per year by doing an expense audit and removing all of the subscriptions she doesn't need anymore because Social Connector takes care of all of those. All right. So I am going to post a 14, isn't that amazing? A 14-day free trial to Social Connector. So you guys go check it out. See if it's for you. And if you have any questions about it, if you want to hop on a coffee chat or something like that, I'm happy to walk you through and show you some of my stuff and Sarah would be happy to do the same thing. So, just let us know. Oh, Bold, Fearless Confidence Podcast. Awesome. Thank you so much. Great to have you here. All right. So here is the 14-day free trial to Social Connector, you guys, if you want to check it out. It is amazing. And I'm so glad that I was introduced to that because I was searching far and wide, and it took me a long time to find my home in a CRM system. So
it took you a couple weeks.
Pardon me?
I said I was talking to you for a couple weeks, and you finally said, "Okay, I'll try."
Yeah. And the reason why is because I was on my 3rd CRM.
I know.
And after I started getting involved in the CRM, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not really doing the things that I wanted to do. And then I had heard about Social Connector before, and I was like, I knew that I would have to transition. I didn't have tons of contacts, but I did have some sales funnels and things like that. But you know what? It's doable. It's doable to get those moved over, especially if you have some guidance like with someone like us, right?
Yep.
And that's what we are here for. So yes. So that is it for week 4, you guys. I can't wait to see all of your homework. Pop over to the Facebook group, say hello. And Sarah, if you want to pop the name of your group, it's Digital Divas Den, I believe.
Yep, Digital Divas Den. You're gonna have to because I don't have access to where you're doing that. I can put it in the group though. I'll put it in the group.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, you could post it right now in not Social Connector and StreamYard. If you just go to the comments section, you should.
Oh, there we go. I just learned something new.
Yeah. So. All right. So yeah, Bold, Fearless, Confidence said, sounds like a plan. It is an excellent plan. Excellent. So glad. So exciting. And that is, I just posted the 14-day free trial in the comments. So you guys go check that out. And you know what? We're going to end it here. And you know what? We are giving you the gift of time again today. So keeping everything simple, trying to keep everything as bite-sized as we can so that you get through this campaign and you have your campaign ready to go. All right. Cause we want to we want to see you, succeed. We want to see you get your offers out there, instead of being all stressed out and doing it the last minute. Okay. Not this time, right? Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So that is it for today, you guys. So we will see you all next week for the grand finale, week 5. We are going to be launching. We're going to be tracking. We're going to be doing all those cool things. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.